Yeah.
So here it's like welcomed.
Oh, it's totally welcome. It's really viewed as culture appreciation here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. It feels like, oh, you are accepting us. Oh, you are integrating our culture. Oh, you are trying to be one of us, which is a beautiful thing, and a warm welcoming. You were like, sorry, you were like socially viewed as one of ours. We're doing that here.
Yeah. Like when I do this, I mean, everyone from like my coworkers to like the guards are like, oh, nice hair, nice hair, like comment on my hair.
Yeah, that's just it. That's just it for us. I know that is a completely different thing in America with the African American community. And they have their reasons, really.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and it's just...
I mean, it's a completely different history.
Yeah, completely different. Like, we have really completely different histories and so different practices, different cultures. Something that is totally normal here will be extremely offensive there, and the opposite, you know. So, yeah, sometimes when you... or when I post you with Braids, I only get great comments about people from our community, and when we have black, old friends who are now in the US, their reaction is also still the same. It's still the
Your
same.
Your Congolese friends in the US.
Yes, my Congolese friends in the US. I mean, they still view it the same. I've not yet so far seen any comment about any of my American friends, Black American friends, said anything, but I know if they have to say something, it will be something negative.
Yeah.
I spent some time in Atlanta to know how the black community feels about it.
I would never get braids in America.
No. So my question to you is, when you post it, do you have any comments?
So I always post like an explanation, and because most of my audience is American, not Congolese.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
And so I have African American friends who will see it, and so I explain as a reminder, I'm in Congo, I'm doing this in Goma. Like, it is not viewed how it would be viewed in America, and exactly like you said, here it's totally viewed as cultural appreciation, not appropriation. So I've never had any negative comments, and I've only had positive comments from my African American friends. But I think because they've understood, it'd be totally different if I was in the U.S. and getting this done than where I am and getting this done. And I'm not in the U.S. And so in the context I'm living in, it's a completely appropriate thing, and it's viewed very positively and welcomingly, like you said, by the people here, because it's viewed as my adoption of your culture and a celebration of your culture. And so it's like when I wear panye, people here love it, and in the US I'd have to be careful. Yeah, it's tough because I feel like Congo is so much a part of I love Congo so much, and I appreciate it so much, and want to show off Congolese culture and the things I have from Congo. And a lot of that is the fabrics, for example. How I have the curtains in the local fabrics, or I have the furniture made in the local fabric. Could I, when I move back to the States, or if I move back to the States, will I bring those like they are? I think I'd want to, but I also don't know what people would say. It's true, would there be criticism of that? But on the other hand, it's such beautiful fabrics, and it's such a celebration of Congolese art and Congolese culture and Congolese expression. And so I want to celebrate that and popularize that and share that with my home country and the people in my home country. Proud isn't the right word because it's not mine, but I have such an admiration and appreciation for Congolese culture, and I want to share that with people who don't have the opportunity to get exposed to that.
Do you feel like it also depends on which state you're in?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think most African Americans across the country would respond in the same way, I think. But I think the white people would respond differently based on where you are. And I feel like some white people in some areas would be more uncomfortable or like more aware that this could be interpreted as cultural appropriation, whereas others it would not even register for them, or they'd be totally unaware. But I mean, the African American community is not like, you know, like it's a community, but obviously there's a wide range of diverse opinions among the community, like with any community. But I feel like pretty universally it would be viewed, like I said, I would never get braids done in the US. I remember I was gonna get braids done again. The last time I got them was February, I think, at the beginning of the year. And then, were you here for February, or no, you were in Kin?
No, I was in Katanga.
Okay. So February was like one of the craziest months in terms of with the war here.
Yeah.
And there was like bombing every day you could hear. And then there was like the build up along the Rwandan border. So then there was like rumors that Rwanda was going to invade. And it was like one of the tensest months we've had since M23 ignited.
Yeah.
And so we didn't know, like, might we have to escape across the, you know, it was always like, might we have to escape across the border, ironically, to Rwanda, have to fly home or something. And so I was going to get braids done again, and I decided not to, because I was like, I don't want to get braids done and then, like, end up in Rwanda, where also I don't know how it's viewed. You know, I'm not as familiar, obviously, with Rwanda. I've never lived there. I've only traveled there a little. And I was like, or even worst case, like that I have to travel back to the US and I have braids in and I like don't know who to take them out and I don't know how to get them out and I like have to go to the States in braids, like because we evacuate Goma. And so I didn't get braids done because I would never want to travel to the States in braids or to like Europe in braids.
Europe. Honestly, I'm just being ignorant here. I didn't know it was such a big deal in Europe.
I don't know. I can't like claim to knowing it as well as the US. And I'm speaking more about France, but I feel like the black community in France would feel, I could see them feeling similarly to the black community in America. So I just didn't want, you know, because if I like evacuated, I might evacuate to my family in Paris because it's the same time zone, so it'd be easier to keep working and everything. So that was like the consideration, and I was just like, you know what, I don't want to travel like outside Congo with braids. I mean, like maybe I'll go to Burundi with them.
I feel you. I remember seeing Yvonne packing, and they brought some clothes for her. Yvonne is this friend of ours who is married to another good friend of ours, John, who is a Caucasian man and has a beautiful child. Yeah, he's American. And they are moving to the US. And so when they were packing, you know, she was packing some shirts for John, and they were made of, you know, African fabrics. And I was like, wait, you're moving to the US with these for John? You're not worried? I was just like, she was like, man, I don't care. I was like, okay, I get it. I don't care either. I mean, this is America though. African Americans have a way to see these things. I was just a bit worried. And then she said to me, she said that if they're worried and they're together, it can't be a big deal.
Yes.
Is that something?
No, I think that's totally true. I think if he's with her, it's a totally different thing. And even that he's married to her, I think makes a totally different thing. Like, yes, I have a Congolese boyfriend, but I'm not married to a Congolese man. So I think if I were married to a Congolese man, there would also be more leeway.
Okay.
Now, on the street, someone's not going to know that, so they might still judge you, give you a dirty look, or say something. But I think the fact that John's wife is Congolese, like, protects him to a certain degree, and that, like, it's okay for him to wear a shirt like that, especially if they're together.
Okay. That's also did not.
And I mean, I think so. Again, like, you know, it'd be better to ask someone from the African American community what they would think.
Yeah.
But I would think that you know, and then they have a biracial child together. So I feel like that kind of protects him a little, because Ivan is Congolese, you know, and so it's the culture he married into. So really, you know, it should be okay. Like it's not taking from the African American culture. It's taken from the African culture that he married into, and that is now part of his family. And like, he has a son who's, you know, Congolese American. So it's like continuing this celebration of this culture also for the sake of his son. I think it'd be really sad if he couldn't wear those shirts because he was in the US, and like, you know, what's that like for Lucas? You know, I mean, he'd wonder, like, why can't my dad
wear these in my...
Because my dad is white, like, he can't wear these fabrics that he would wear if we were living back in Congo. So I think it'd be okay. I hope it'd be okay.
Oh, too.
But you're right that I mean, and also the thing is, like, people here don't necessarily think of that or know that.
Yeah.
So it was good you pointed out to Yvonne, but I'm also not surprised. She's like, I don't care.
She really did care.
Well, thank you so much for telling us so much about hair here in Congo and how you wear your hair, and it's so interesting to learn about. I was just thinking, like, I wonder if there's anything I didn't think of to say. I'd like to ask.
About hair?
Yeah.
I do have something.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about when let's say an African American who has, like, you know, blonde hair, dyed, or a wig, straight blonde wig, and blue lenses, contact lenses, you know, attack you for cultural appropriation?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
That's a very sensitive question. I don't know if
I know. I mean, I know it's sensitive, but I mean,
no, it's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know it's not like a case that has happened to you, but let's theoretically, how would that make you feel? How does that feel fair?
I mean, well, I don't have straight blonde hair, blue eyes, so I wouldn't feel like my culture was being appropriated. I think there's...
That's what I mean.
I totally get what you mean. I feel like part of the whole shtick with cultural appropriation is it's a culture that has been put down and ostracized and repressed and, you know, made to be shameful. And so, like, part of it is, like, you know, that it's hypocritical then for, like, white people to try and take aspects of it that they like, when, like, there's this long history of white people oppressing this culture and trying to stamp it out and eliminate it. And so, you know, there's not that reverse situation. Like, it's not the same thing. You know, it's like how like certain situations that men can go through, it's like, well, it's not the same thing. There's not the same historical significance of, like, men being oppressed. Like, that's not really a thing. Like, men have not been historically oppressed. So, like, you know, a man can be interrupted or whatever, but it doesn't have the same meaning or hold the same weight as, like, a woman speaking and being interrupted by a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As, like, a man being interrupted by another man or by a woman or something. And so I think part of it is there's history at play, and there's not that, like, white culture and, like, blonde hair and blue eyes have not been historically oppressed. And, you know, if anything, as we saw, like, during the Holocaust and everything, that's, like, been prized and been valued and been deemed better and more attractive and all those things. So I feel like that's where the difference comes into play. Is because you're not dealing with the same historical dealing with the same historical injustices. So
That's so
Yeah.
beautifully answered.
Oh, thank you.
I asked because not because I was trying to like get you to
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
because
yeah.
I honestly was wondering, because like when I will see people making such a big deal out of the cultural appropriation, of course there's just also a lot that I don't relate to when it comes to African American struggles.
Right.
And I will be like, so why are people attacking people while they are over there, we over here bleaching our skins and straighten our hairs and wearing these contact lens to just to look a certain way, getting the rhinoplasty to get a smaller nose. Why?
So sad.
Like why then do we feel like we have the right to attack them for that and we can't be attacked for that, Now, the way you explain it to me, this is like truly me learning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where people come from.
Yeah.
When they do that.
Yeah.
Just being black is not it. We don't have the same history.
Right.
Struggles.
Right.
And yeah, that's a good thing to know. That's a good thing to know. One argument that I heard before was that, some African people, some black people, actually some tribes, I don't remember from where, actually do have blonde hair and blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that and I was like, oh okay, that's also, good to know. Like I was completely ignorant of that for a good, amount of my life.
So was I, yeah.
Yeah. And so, because of that, somebody might say it's not actually cultural appropriation per se.
Right.
But like, just hearing your argument about the way you break it down, it's changed a lot in my perspective and definitely made me at least a lot less judgmental of like African American culture and how they go about certain things. So yeah, thank you. That was a nice one.
Thank you for this conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like this is really informative and I'm really excited to share with everyone all we discussed and all we learned.
Yeah. Me too. This was nice.
Goma carpool, not in the car.
House pool.
House pool.
It is.
Yeah.
See you in a couple of seconds for the end look.
Yeah.
Almost done. Almost there. That took what, 4 hours? Did we start at 1?
We started at they came at 12 something?
Yeah, they came at 12:30. Ouch.
Yeah.
Is it a little painful, yeah? Not just a little, it's painful. Sorry. Oh, almost there.
Okay.
Yay! Yes. We love it. We love it. There we go.
So I don't know when it shut off. Did it shut off right as we were talking? Or did we notice it shut off right when it shut off?
We did.
Okay. So I guess the last thing we were saying was I was saying about how people react.
What? You stop. Right.
So turn it off. So press the record button.